Hello, Happy New Year. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about an interesting tool called Bolt. Some of you may have heard about it and some of you may have been using it. Well, I have tried some stuff lately and of course it is a capable tool, but it has some interesting, pros and cons. So let's dive into it. So first of all, software engineering in general has been like you gather a requirement from the user has some stories, then you kind of build a product, design document, and once you get that product requirement design document, then you basically go to the developer and developer does what they do good. You basically build the application with the list of technologies and skills that they have. Well, this entire process kind of will shift in the future as AI is getting more and more traction and becoming more and more intelligent, rather. So let's discuss what's the process. So this is what I have followed so far. I started with ChatGPT. So let's say there's an idea that someone came up with. It's actually my son came up with this idea that there'll be a nice, interesting thing that can happen if you build an application that just compares calories, fairly quickly. Okay. So I actually started chatting with ChatGPT, as you could see. I said hello and say, hey there, what's up? And then I started with this question, or rather statement that, hey, can you help me build a prompt to generate an application in Bolt AI? Basically, what I'm asking is, give me a prompt for Bolt AI to build an application that builds calorie count for 5 different fast foods. So that's basically it. And I also asked the Chat GPT to ask me questions if you need some more clarification. And here's the stuff that kind of went back and forth with ChatGPT and myself, and eventually it came up with you know some pretty hefty, interesting prompt, right? And what I basically did, I did not take this entire thing because it literally built an entire big lengthy stuff with a lot of things and gave me a lot more details than I need to know, like the back end, front end, and all that. So I literally just took this piece right here and went to Bolt. And if you're not familiar with Bolt, I'll put the link in the description below. This is where you kind of go and you can just start putting a prompt right there, right? So that's what I literally did. I put my prompt, and then initially, if you're not registered, it will ask you to register. All you need is a GitHub account, which you can create for free. So this is how it went. As you can see, I just said develop this thing, and that was just kind of like based on the prompt. And again, I made the prompt multiple times, so eventually it came to this, and then that's all I did. I mean, I didn't do anything else, and it literally went, as you could see, created whatever I need to create in React. I just chose React to do this, and then create the responsive UI. And on the right side, as you could see, that this is the application that it created. Great, right? Yeah. However, it's not very detailed, of course, right? Like, you would want more stuff in there. Like, as it said, it's going to have menu items and comparison between menu items. I just kind of build a very basic skeleton app that just shows different calories for, this fast food. And of course, in my prompt, I did mention 5 fast foods, right? One, two, three, four, five, or six rather. And it did put those in the list, but guess what? Only 3 of them works. And if I go to the Chick-fil-A, go to KFC, nothing shows up. Nothing shows up. So again, it just built a basic one, and maybe if paid, I have a paid version, maybe it will do a better job. But in any case, you got the idea. Once you have it built, you can of course it deployed it for me automatically. So you can deploy it manually as well, and you can export it, right? And that's what I did. I exported it, and then I just wanted to make sure that I can run it locally, and I was able to run it locally, right? So that's kind of it. And the problem is, and okay, let me come back to the problem later. First, I want to show you quick how the application looks. So I actually put it on my GitHub account, and I'll put this link in the description below as well. And also, I'll just show you, how it runs locally, right? So I downloaded this, and again, feel free to go ahead download that from the GitHub, or you can create your own if you want. I'm sure it's going to probably create a different version of it with that same prompt. So anyway, if you, by the way, if you want to get that prompt, in my GitHub account, I did put the prompt, and I think it's called, it's right here. It's right here. So there you go. You can just use this as a prompt. But of course, I literally put the whole requirements that it threw it out on me, and ChatGPT really gave me all these details, right? It gave me the project setup, database design, backend development, blah, 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 front-end development, all this thing, and deployment. It just gave me too much information, which, feel free to go through it and then build your own. Of course, you can use other tools to do that. And I'm going to come back to that in a second. But I didn't go through and copy all of these. I only just took the basic uh, application scope and then put that in the bolt.new and then let it create the application. So that's basically what that is. Anyway, I downloaded the application and I ran it locally, and then of course checked it in. So go ahead, download and try it. You can also do it from here if you don't want to go through the whole process. Just copy this GitHub link, and of course go to your favorite PowerShell or maybe command prompt. This is for me on Windows, and just type this git clone, and this is the link, and hit enter, and of course it will check it out. I have already done it, so I'm not going to do it. All I'm going to do is go to that specific directory and hit enter, and then do cursor, because I like cursor, and open the project up. As you can see, it's all there, all the applications, everything is built, and then I'm going to just try to run it. And all I have to do is npm install, which I have already done it. I'm not going to do it again. You can do it, if you just download it fresh. And then after you're done with that, you're just going to do npm run and then dev. And once you do it, and it's just going to run, as you can see that Bolt by default use that as a port. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this guy and then show you how it looks. Let's see how it looks. So open a new tab, paste it, run it, and voila, there it is, right? So this was actually my first version that I have both created. So as you can see, it's, it did it. It's really nice. And then same thing, I get to do all of these different fast food, but when I choose Chick-fil-A, it doesn't work. KFC doesn't work. So it only did the first three. Maybe that was the limitation for free, but who knows? But even though it created this, but it was, I think, some fake data, most likely. So it looks nice, but it's not practical, or it's not going to be a production quality application. So the bigger question is, will I be able to use, or will we be able to use as a software engineer, a tool like this? The answer is maybe. I mean, for something to show the user like a quick mock, maybe this is a good tool, just an initial, show and tell type thing. It looks pretty good. It can do stuff rapidly and does a very good job of creating it. However, if we have a real deal, like a real enterprise level application, which actually I have tried, by the way, and I have a whole big requirements here that I started with ChatGPT. It's basically an entire event site that I wanted to build that will have stuff like authentication through Auth0. I want Google Maps and want some fancy features. And I did try to put that in Bolt, and of course Bolt did, as it does, try to create some code and couldn't create the backend code, and whatever code it created, it had errors, and it also gave me a prompt that, hey, I got some errors. Do you want me to solve it? Yes, and I clicked yes, but it kept giving me the same errors. So it actually kind of, fell on its face for the complicated application. So again, the moral of the story is, for simple stuff, it's great. For complicated things, you probably have to go back to some more capable tools like Cursor AI to do your stuff based on a detailed requirement and going through step-by-step process, which I will actually show in my next YouTube video. So please stay tuned. In my next YouTube video, I'm going to take it to the next step to show you, okay, this is what Bolt did, but for a really big enterprise level application, what you really need to do in the future, what's coming. I mean, you can definitely take the help of AI uh, to build an enterprise level applications, which will be much easier than what we used to do in the past. But it can not be as simple as just putting into some tools like this, and it will create all that different like tiers, and it will deploy it. So that's it's not there yet, basically. So you still have to go through some step-by-step process. So stay tuned for my next YouTube video. And for now, again, I have put like a step-by-step instruction of what I did on this one, so you can look it up right here. As you could see, basically started with the prompt, and then I requested ChatGPT to ask me clarifying questions and eventually get a final prompt for Bolt AI, and then dump it into Bolt AI and register if you need to, and then complete the application on Bolt and make sure it runs. And then you can download it from Bolt if you want, or alternatively you can download it, if it is the exact same prompt that I just mentioned, you can download it from this GitHub page right here, right? And then you can run the code as I showed you. And if you're satisfied with it, great. It's done. If you're not, you can kind of you can go back to the well again and start the prompt and come back again. So you can kind of follow this process until you get a satisfactory result. But again, let me warn you, for a very complex enterprise level application, this is not the best way to go. Anyway, that's all for today. If this video has added benefit to your daily technical skills, please do consider subscribing my channel and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified for subsequent videos that I'm going to have in the future this year, and it will be very interesting. Thank you. Have a great day.